I have learned that there are so many other people in similar professions that share the same passion as you do. And sometimes when you're just, I don't know, doing your assignments or you're working in a nursery or something like that, and you have what you think you have good ideas, and not necessarily everyone agrees with you or people have different opinions, it's really nice to be in an environment where everyone does believe in the things you believe in.
From being at a conference, it gives me a few ideas for my dissertation, because it helps knowing about the research other people do.
I also realised that, and this might sound silly, but I realised that the theorists and authors and things like that are actually human as well, and you do have the opportunity to go up and speak to them if you want to. Once you've actually met them and you know their faces, it makes reading their work a lot more easy to remember and understandable for some strange reason. In the reality, if we just speak at children rather than actually engaging them in quality conversation, they're not learning anything. They're just hearing noise. So it was quality over quantity regarding the amount of words you're saying and conversations you're having, and that conversations should actually be a conversation, like a two-way thing, and not just talking at a child. And it sounds daft, but it's been proven that if a child only has 100 words in their vocabulary, by the time they get up to starting school and even up to secondary school, that they're still not going to be as bright, for lack of a better word, and that will impact their grades and then their jobs when they're adults and things like that. One thing that stuck out for me, which was quite simple, but you don't necessarily, or lots of people don't necessarily always do it, was the 6 language principles, which where children learn what they hear most, which again sounds obvious, but I don't think everyone realise, or they might realise it, but they don't take it into consideration when they're speaking, when practitioners are speaking to each other about what they did at the weekend or what they're going to do tonight. They're not actually thinking that the children are picking up all this, and some of these words you might not want children to hear. Or she also said that children learn words from the things and the places that interest them. So when actually speaking to a child, you should just, rather than sort of telling them and teaching them what you think they should know, just let them lead and then teach them that way, and it's going to be a lot more beneficial and they'll actually take it on board. One thing that I really remember was one of the studies that she did about supermarkets, and she basically she went to a disadvantaged area or low income area and sort of did some research on what language was happening with the supermarkets and their children and that sort of thing, and it proved that it wasn't very much. And then just by putting a few signs up to engage children or giving parents prompts to ask their children questions, again, I can't remember how much time they actually did it for, but over that period of time the difference was astounding.
Conversation with someone, which makes you think more deeply that a child isn't just talking, they have to think, and the process of them thinking, and that you can't simplify anything, and that turn taking, the effort, and the effect that it has on them, the opportunity and the time and the patience you have to give for children to actually talk to them and let them have a conversation. And they said 3 key things was environment, opportunities and interactions that children have in a setting, which I think I'd take that with me on to further practice. And they also mentioned about to not interfere, just to support the child's talking, when they showed a video of them 2 children in a tub, wasn't it, I think? And one of them wanted to be in it, and the practitioner was just sort of chatting to them oh, do you want to go in the tub kind of thing? So she wasn't, oh, come on, you come out the tub now and put the other one in. She actually just sort of let them flow and do their own thing, which I quite liked. I agree with. I think that's how practice should be done. I think it's a good opportunity to sort of look at other things that are out there that you might not necessarily find at uni. Because you are sort of enclosed, like you do reading, but not everyone does further reading. And like it sort of opens your eyes, and you get to meet people as well, like you said, with books and that. It does put in faces to names and makes it more familiar to you, and then you're more comfortable with finding that book in the end and knowing that it's actually come from someone that you've seen.
For me personally, I think it just fills you with aspiration and motivation to actually aim high and just kind of achieve your goals, and then through that sort of providing the best possible care for children, and also, you know, depending on what section you go into, although care and education go hand in hand really, but it's the learning that I gained from that, and I hope to continue. You can't beat it, you know. I would definitely go again if I get a chance.